Hey, this is Danny on KRUZ Radio and the After Midnight Ramble, posted on 2-Bit Tales. I pulled another story out of the Johnny Kid files last night. Although I'm not really sure when this story took place, I'm getting a vibe that it was written sometime in the 90s. And from what I've noticed, Johnny tends to jump around a bit with dates and time, if he writes them in at all. It looks like this story is also tied to the one he titled Jack Cole and the Duchess. I'll put a link to that story on 2-Bit Tales below. Meanwhile, here's what he wrote. From the Johnny Kid files, the search for the Duchess continues. I drove up to the front of Zoey'S boutique with my hot rod Ford, and Zoey'S was a contemporary dress shop in Cocoa Isle Shopping Center, and Jennifer was inside adding the starting balance to the register. The window was decorated real Christmassy, with red and silver garland that twinkled subtly behind the glass and artificial snow. On the sidewalk next to the boutique was a bell ringer setting up his red kettle. When she saw me through the window, she quickly put the money down and rushed to open the entrance door. I got out of my coupe and greeted her at the doorway. It was an unusually crisp December morning in Hawaii, with a bite in the air that would last way into the night. The kind of night great for burning up the sheets. While standing in front of Zoey'S, she took my hand and brought it to her chest. And then with a playful grin, she told me, "We don't officially open for another 10 minutes. I don't want to buy anything, I said, while I slowly consumed her every curve with my eyes. I just want you, I said. As I pulled her close, she leaned in and we kissed. I could feel her nose against my face. Jennifer was cold, her skin was cool, and her scent was as fresh as the crisp air. But as much as I wanted to stay, I couldn't stick around that morning, so I let go of her hand and told her that I had to get to the shop by 9. Then I started to walk back to my coupe. Jennifer followed me halfway into the parking lot. Oh, but she knew me all too well. "Johnny," she said, "you're not going to the shop, are you?" Jennifer asked as she moved her hair that blew across her lips from the cool breeze. "You think you're going to find your Duchess today, don't you?" she asked. As I grabbed the door handle to my coupe, I said, "You still don't believe me, do you, Jen?" "What?" she said. "That's some mystery car that no one knows about or heard about except you," she told me. "Worth millions, is hidden someplace on the island." And then she said, "Johnny, I love you, but no." She didn't believe that the Duchess ever existed. She thought I probably misunderstood what I overheard when I was a kid. I laughed and said, "It's not millions, it's just a little over 7. See, when I was 5 years old, my dad took me on a job painting the inside of a warehouse up in Wahiawa by Lake Wilson and Chemo Farms restaurant. My dad was on a scissor lift, and I was sitting on the floor with a Bugs Bunny coloring book near a door to a makeshift office, watching my father paint. I'll never forget, the door was partly open. I looked inside when I heard voices, and I saw 2 big Hawaiian guys. One of them was wearing a pair of royal blue canvas pants and an aloha shirt. He was sitting with his feet up on one of those steel-cased tanker desks that was kind of a greenish color. The other guy was sitting across from him wearing a white t-shirt. His arms were dark tan, his triceps bulged at his sleeves, and they were talking about some show car that was on its way to Hawaii from the mainland. I didn't know exactly what they were saying. I was too young to understand. All I remember is that they were talking about stealing it from the docks when it arrived. The name of the car, Pineapple Duchess, and saying something about stashing it someplace. "Get 'em and then just make 'em disappear, brah." I remember hearing one of them saying strong pidgin English. It wasn't until years later that I was able to piece together details and make sense of it all by talking to some of the older hot rod guys around town about the Duchess and how much she'd be worth if she was ever found. Anyway, back to Zoey'S and me and Jennifer in the parking lot. Like I said, as we were standing next to my coupe, Jennifer said that she loved me, but she didn't believe that the Pineapple Duchess ever existed. I looked toward the windward side for a moment, got into my coupe, and said that I just knew the Duchess was out there somewhere, and that she was right about me not going directly to the shop that morning. I gotta make a stop first, I told her. But I'll see you later tonight, I said. Jennifer glared at me as if looks could kill, and asked, "Where are you going?" And then demanded, "Take me with you," she said. She wasn't serious about going with me, of course. And so I confessed and said that I was going to see Dang before he opens his place. Leslie Dang ran a machine shop in Kailua town, not far from my shop in Kaneohe, and I had heard that Dang knew something about the Duchess. As I began to back out of the parking stall, Jennifer quickly gave me one last kiss goodbye for the day and then watched me drive off. But little did I know that a dark Ford van had been watching us from across the parking lot. As I rolled out of sight, a medium-built fellow with sandy blonde hair and a goatee, wearing a long brown leather duster, slid open the van door and strolled into the dress shop. Jennifer forgot to lock the door. By then, she was back at the register, behind the counter counting cash. "I'm running a bit late this morning," she said to the stranger. "You can look around if you'd like. I'll be with you in a minute," she said. Jennifer was already suspicious from the get-go, but it was morning, and the shopping center was beginning to fill with tourists. Plus, hearing the bell ringer outside on the sidewalk gave her some comfort. Still, she kept her right finger on the alarm button that had been below the till, just in case. "I'm not here to look around," the stranger said as he reached into his coat pocket. Jennifer was just about to push the alarm when the stranger quickly took his hand back out and pointed to the register. He called her by name. "Jennifer, please don't press that button," he said. "I've got something for your boyfriend that I think he might want." "Are you a friend of Johnny's?" she asked him. "Something like that," he said. Jennifer insisted that he tell her, "Well, are you or aren't you?" she asked, while at the same time inquiring how did he know her name. "It's on your name tag," he said. But Jennifer wasn't wearing her name tag. She just hadn't had time to put it on yet. The stranger looked back toward the door as if he expected visitors. Sure enough, at that moment, 2 security guards walked by the boutique. One waved hello to Jennifer through the window. The other guard stopped, opened the door, and said, "Good morning, beautiful." Jennifer assured them that, for the moment, her safety wasn't in any jeopardy. "It's okay, Brian," she said. "You and Ronald have a good day, and I'll see you guys later at lunch." The stranger, still standing close but across from Jennifer at the counter, strained a friendly smile to Brian and Ronald. Ronald acknowledged the stranger with a serious leer back, then winked at Jennifer as they both slowly continued to make their rounds. When the stranger saw it was clear, he put his right hand back into his pocket and pulled out a small white box about the size of a ring box. Then he placed it on the counter and began to cautiously lift the lid as if he were handling a precious artifact. Jennifer only had a second to look at what was inside before they were both distracted by the sound of keys rattling and fast thumping. At first it seemed as if Brian and Ronald were running back to Zoey's, but they rushed past the boutique instead. When the stranger saw them running, he made eye contact with the bell ringer through the window and then quickly swiped up the box from the counter and put it back into his pocket. The bell ringer stood up, reached for his gun from his shoulder holster, but hesitated while still keeping his hand on the grip. When a young woman with a child dropped a coin into the kettle, he discreetly locked the pistol back into his holster and began walking towards Zoey's, never breaking eye contact with the stranger. The stranger rapidly told Jennifer, "Tell your boyfriend that Jack stopped by to give him something," and then he fled out the door in the opposite direction. The bell ringer chased after him and wasn't far behind when they both disappeared into the crowded parking lot. At the same time, that dark van the stranger came out of raced off through the parking lot. Jennifer immediately picked up the phone and tried calling me at the shop, but I was still at Dang's, so she left a message. "Johnny, a man just came in. He said his name was Jack and he had something for you." And then she said on the recording that, I saw it. I believe you. Call me right away." I never got a chance to call her back, but later that night, Jennifer told me that What she thought she saw in that box had been a heavy gold ring with a pineapple insignia. And Johnny, she said, in the center of it was a small but extremely brilliant diamond. And then she asked me, "Who is Jack? And why did he want to give you that ring?" "I don't know, Jen," I said. "But I heard about the ring. It's the key to the Duchess. It's the ignition key to the Duchess. That ring will start the car. I wonder why he wanted me to have it." And then I told Jen, I gotta go back and see Dang. This has been from the Johnny Kid Files. Johnny has always been searching for a long-lost hot rod that is thought to be hidden someplace in Hawaii, worth over several million, called the Pineapple Duchess. Follow along as I go through some of his notes and stories that he left in a filing cabinet. Maybe together we'll find the Duchess. This has been Danny on KRUZ and the After Midnight Ramble, posted on 2-Bit Tales. Until next time, I'll see you guys later. Aloha.